Wow, I'm live. I do apologize. It's taken me a half hour just to get on here. So sorry. I don't know what was wrong with my computer. I don't know. I'm not that technology. Oh, okay. So, hi, welcome. Welcome to SAIL, which is Surviving Abuse in Life. And yes, we do survive. Hello, everyone. My name is Llewellyn, and I am an abuse survivor. Everything and anything, you name it, it's happened. If you want to know the gory details, you can either watch the earlier videos or you can purchase my book, Abuse It Is What It Is, on Amazon. Just type in Llewellyn Bissell and you'll find all the books actually I've written. So tonight's discussion is about a narcissist. I was married to one for 13 and a half years. And someone asked, can you really heal from it? I'm going to say yes. Is it easy? I'm going to tell you no, but it is doable. The first step, the very first step, is to believe in yourself. But first, let me tell you what a narcissist is, just in case other people don't know. So, a narcissistic person is someone who exhibits an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for admiration, and really a big lack of empathy for others. They often believe that they are superior to you or others, or however it is you want to call that, right? And I want to talk to you today about that because someone mentioned that. I was reading that and they asked, "Can you heal?" Yes, I have been free from my narcissistic ex-husband now for 23, almost 24 years. Been married to my current husband for 21 years, and I haven't been easy to live with. I know I haven't. Shh! Don't tell my husband. Trust me, he knows. But healing does take time. One of the first things that you have to do is to learn to trust yourself. And it takes more effort than you realize to trust yourself. There are times I still don't trust myself because I find myself falling back into the same situations, the same things before, and I went, oh my stars, this person's just like my ex-husband. It's happened. You can fall back into patterns and not realize it until something just slams into you and you're like, that was a wake-up call. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not staying here. But yes, it is very possible to heal. The process is very challenging. It can be long, but the major important thing you need to remember, it's all about you. Now, there are some people that can't afford counseling or a therapist, and if you can, please by all means do that. If you can't, find a pastor or a life coach or someone who can or has gone through it. You don't want someone that just has all the book learning. You need someone that can listen, empathize, and give you that path. You don't want them to go, oh, honey, I'm so sorry. How does that make you feel? No. You want someone to go, oh, my stars, yeah, no, I can relate. But tell me, where do you want to go from here? What is it that you want to do? And how much work are you willing to put in yourself? That's a major one right there. How much work are you willing to do for yourself to heal? I can't tell you that. Only you can tell you that. Now, I thought after I divorced him that I was fine. Nothing wrong with me. Oh man, that was a joke. Oh my stars. I tell you, that was like the worst ever mistake I made in my life is thinking that I was good now that I was divorced from him. Oh heavens no. Mm-mm. Healing is a journey. You'll find yourself taking 2 steps forward and 4 steps back, or 1 forward and 2 back, and you'll always feel like you're not getting anywhere. But in reality, you are. And I can't tell you enough. to journal. You need to journal. You need to get the negative out of your head. You need to figure out from there what you want, how you want it. What do you want your life to look like? You know, when I married my husband Troy here 21, almost 22 years ago, I thought that none of the abuse that I went through before in my entire life, from childhood up to my first marriage, none of that's going to affect me now because he's a good guy. He's great. That's not what happened. I started slowly spiraling down because I couldn't trust myself. I couldn't love myself because I was unlovable. I mean, if people can abuse me and I allow it, how can I trust myself? How can I love myself for that? And who is this man that married me? How is he going to love me if I can't love myself? And I expect more from him to love me. That's not the way it works. You have to love yourself. You know, one of the things that my ex would do is he would come home and tell me that his side of the family didn't like me or whatever the case was. And then he would go and tell his family, that I didn't like them. So we never really talked because we believed him. Worst mistake ever. In my defense, okay, here I go, I'm defending myself. In my defense, I was young and dumb. Okay, number one. But the major thing should be number one. Major thing is that I was abused growing up. So it's all I knew. And of course, he was 7 years older than I was. So he should know better because he was older. I was 17 when him and I got together. I was 17 when I got pregnant by him. 17. I was 18 when we got married, and I was 30 when I divorced him. I had 3 kids by him. And in those 13 and a half years, I was called every name in the book. I had so many beatings I lost track. And sometimes I bring it on myself because I knew I would get that, but I was looking for a reaction because he ticked me off. He'd hurt me verbally, mentally, physically. The one beating that and I'm going to cry and I'm sorry. Um, the one beating that I remember, and we hadn't been there 6 months. We moved this person in. We'll call him Lucky Dog because that was his nickname. So Lucky Dog moved his girlfriend in, helped her leave her husband. And I was the only one that had a driver's license and a vehicle to drive them. So I had to drive them up to where she lived with her soon-to-be ex-husband and help her pack up her stuff to leave. Well, her son came over to help. Now, her son is, I don't know, at this time, maybe about 4 years younger than I was. So I was 22, so what, 18? 19, something like that, he was young. To me, I felt like I was wise beyond my years because of all the crap I went through, plus having 3 children. And I never really thought more of him than like a little brother or something like that, very friendly. But that's just who I am, a friendly person. I talk, and we found some common ground and we would laugh at jokes and, stuff like that. And yes, I reached out and I touched his arm. It's like, oh my stars, that was just so funny, right? But I never went beyond that. Now, Lucky Dog told my now ex-husband, but husband back then, he says, oh my stars, guess what your wife did? So that night, after Lucky Dog and his girlfriend went up to the attic, that's where they had their room, I was holding our 2-year-old in my arms. She had just fallen asleep. Oh my stars, it was hard getting her to sleep. She was so excited for whatever happened. I can't remember what happened now. And again, I was 22, maybe just turning 23. I think I was 23 yet. I think I was, no, I was 24. I was 24. She was 2. I was 22 when I had her. So I was 24. Excuse me. And so I was on the couch and I couldn't get up. I was bigger than I am right now. I couldn't get up and I asked him to help me. Here's my hand. Help lift me up, pull me up with the baby so I can put her down. And he grabbed my hand and he twisted it behind my back. And mind you, I'm still holding the baby. And he's yelling at me. And he's cussing at me. And I couldn't understand the words. He was drunk in a skunk. And I could not understand all the words he was saying, but I finally caught what he said. He used Lucky Dog's girlfriend's name and her son's name, and then it clicked of what was going on. And he beat me. My head, my nose, my lips, the back of my neck, my shoulders. I'm trying to protect the baby, right? Because my one hand's behind my back and the other one's holding the baby. And he finally lets go of my hand and I swing it around to grab the baby to put her on the couch as I swing myself down to protect her. I put my body over her. And he's beating me and he's hitting me and he's hitting me and he's hitting me. That baby is now 32 and she knows what happened. But that still kills me. It affects me to this day, and I didn't realize how being with a narcissist would affect me. And for me, every time I talk to a guy, I'm like, oh, what? And I look at my husband, and he's okay with me talking to someone. My ex wasn't. I'm learning, even after all these years, of who I am. I'm a fun person. I laugh, I joke, I flirt a little bit, but I never cross that line. I don't cross that line. And there is a line. But with my narcissist, I couldn't talk to people. No one. I don't care if it was male or female. I could not talk to anyone without being lectured, yelled at, hit, told I couldn't go places after, for a certain amount of time. I mean, I really felt like I was a child, even though he was my husband. I felt like I was his child more than his wife. And there are things that still affect me today. And there are going to be things that still affect you. It may not be that. Maybe something else. But whatever it is, make sure you know it's not you. It's them. And the more that we think about them, the more power we give them over our own minds. And even our own bodies. There are things that my narcissist has done to my body that my body flinches when my husband goes to just touch me. I don't mean a negative way. It just happens. But I'm in counseling and I'm working on that. Because I don't want to flinch when my husband touches me. He's a great guy. Fun-loving, sarcastic. But healing takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. It will be a journey. You're gonna feel like you're in a roller coaster, up and down and all around and forwards and backwards, and it's okay because it's your journey. And there may be days where you feel like you just can't go on. And there's gonna be days you're gonna look back going, "Dang, I went far." And the best way to keep track of that is to journal. I can't stress journaling enough. I am all for journaling. I am so for journaling, I really am, that I created my own positive 365-day positive journal. because I'm bad about remembering journal. I know I talk about it all the time. My journaling is this. This is me journaling. You find your journaling, whether it's writing, maybe recording your voice on a recorder, maybe videos, but whatever it is, you want to keep it. You want to somehow date it and look back and go, wow, look how far I've come from 6 months ago, 2 months ago, a year ago, 10 years ago. You are that important to keep track of. You really are. You know, I always tell people, and I firmly believe that you are not alone. There are so many abused people out there with similar stories. And your stories are no better, no worse, no competition whatsoever than anyone else's. Not even mine. And neither am I. I'm just here to talk about it because I want you to know that you're not alone. And trust me, you're not forgotten because God loves you. And so do I. So it is very, very important that you know your worth. It is very important that you understand that you have a responsibility to yourself to heal. Whether it's a therapist or a counselor or a life coach or a pastor or whatever you believe in your higher power being. But start by journaling. And I don't mean write paragraphs. You can write sentences like hate and lost and confused and just cried all day. Or maybe you put down, he hit me today. While I was with my 2-year-old. Our 2-year-old. And as he was hitting me, blood pouring out of my nose, onto my clothes, onto my 2-year-old's pajamas, I looked up and I saw my 4-year-old and 5-year-old on the stairs watching their father hit me. Now, I know better than to make any noise because the more noise I make, the harder he hits me, the longer he hits me. But I was scared when I looked up and I saw my 4 and 5-year-old watching me being hit. And apparently he heard my gasp because he looked up and saw the kids and he stopped hitting me. And he yelled at me to go put all the kids to bed. To go clean myself up and go to bed too. Did the abuse stop there? No. We don't need to know that one either, right? Healing takes time. Recovering from a narcissist abuse, it's a journey. It can be long, it can be short, but all I can tell you is going to depend on you. If you can seek some professional help, do it. You want to, and it's important that when you go and you talk to someone, a therapist or counselor or some professional, whatever it is, you want to ask questions of them. How long have you been doing this? How did you get into this? What are your success rates? Do they still come back? Are they healed? You want to make sure that whoever you talk to fits your needs. Not that you fit their needs, but that they fit your needs. Because it's about you, it's not about them. So make sure you have important questions to ask them if you seek professional help, which I really truly encourage you to do that. It is important for you to do that. And my narcissist told me once, they don't know nothing. You don't need them. Yeah, whatever. Remember that setting boundaries is also important. You need to establish clear boundaries right up front. It's important for your emotional well-being. You are that important that you have to understand that you have to establish what's important to you. What is your boundary? You let someone call you names? No. You let someone hit you? No. Find what those boundaries are. What is important to you? What are your ethics? What are your morals? What are your values? Where is that boundary line? You in the middle, right? You're there. What are your values? What are your ethics? What are your morals? Find those boundaries. And then you have to stick with them. And I don't care if they're family or the friends from eons ago, you have a right to your well-being. It's essential. Otherwise, how are we supposed to survive? It's like having a cookie jar. You made all those cookies and all of a sudden they're gone. And you don't make them and nobody else makes them and it just sits empty. You don't want to be empty inside. I don't want you to be empty inside. There's a lot of love out there, but we have to start with ourselves. Love yourself first. First. Now, for me, it's God. That's just me. You don't have to. It's just me. Um, Self-care is very important. You got to find out what your self-care is. And again, you can go to Amazon, and I have a book that I wrote about self-care. It's part of this Tiny Steps to Success series. So it'll say self-care down here. I have one that says the right step, which is WRITE. I have another one that I just did for mental health. It's called Not Alone, Not Forgotten. Because I don't want you to be alone in this. Living with a narcissist for those years, I ended up with CPTSD. Oh yeah, fun times. Depression, anxiety, the list goes on. And I'm just finding all this out. I didn't know about that. I'm gonna tell you my age. It's way too old. But we need a journal so that way we also recognize when we're being manipulated. So if you are smarter than me, and I hope you are, you will take and journal out what happens during the day. Maybe you have someone, we'll use their name as manipulator, okay? And you don't realize they're manipulating you, but this manipulator's doing a really darn good job, right? Blaming you for everything. It's all about, them. You did it wrong. If you write it down, your eyes can actually catch it easier than when you're actually in that time frame. So take care of yourself. Make sure you're eating healthy. Make sure you have hobbies. Make sure you actually have friends and see those friends from time to time. Make sure you spend time with people who are supportive, kind, loving, not hurtful. Remember, the key here is about recovery. It's about you. It's not about anyone else. It's about you. So, one of the things that you look for in healing, right? So, and the professor's going to ask you, what are you looking for to get out of this? Okay, well, I want higher self-esteem. I want higher self-confidence. I want to know what my boundaries are. I want to find a healthy relationship. Someone who's, and I don't mean a lover relationship. It could be that, it could be family, it could be friends, it could be whatever, but any relationship has to be healthy. Every relationship. So you want to make sure that they're respectful to you and that you are respectful to you because you matter. You matter. You want to make sure that you have the effective way to share or to feel your emotions. It's okay to have emotions. It's okay to feel what you feel. They're your emotions. Don't have people tell you how you should feel and what you should feel and when you should feel it. No. Feel what you want, when you want, how you want, but make sure you deal with it in a healthy manner. And how do you do that? I'm not going to tell you in here because it's not for me to tell you how to do that. I'm just here to help guide you down the path that you may want or need or whatever. Because you're important. You are enough. You are worthy. Say those affirmations because they're true. God loves you, and so do I. Again, I can't tell you enough that the biggest thing to tell you is you have to have trust in yourself. So hopefully when you put all this together and you have this big ball of stuff that you have to do, don't feel overwhelmed. Pick it apart. Take that ball and pick one thing out and work at it. Maybe do it for 4 to 6 weeks. And then take something else out and add it to that 4 to 6 weeks with the other one and keep doing them. And again, it's going to feel like a roller coaster. And it's not going to be easy. And as a life coach, I'm telling you, I can help. And I'm also in counseling. Because I feel that's where the best support you can do is to have the counseling while you're helping others, while they're helping themselves. So I hope this has helped others with the narcissist question. If you have questions or if you may have some answers, please put them in the comments. Make sure you like this little video if you did like it. Give me a thumbs up. The more people that see this, I hope can help. Maybe share it out. Tell people about it. Share it. Subscribe. I'm here every Friday because you are worthy. So that's it for tonight. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Remember that God loves you and so do I. Don't forget to subscribe and like my channel. Share it out to others. And remember to know your worth. Thank you for watching.